I come from a family of migrants. I was born and brought up in eastern part of India, and I've been living in Singapore for the last 16 years. I've always been interested in labor and migration related issues, and I was volunteering for an NGO in Singapore which worked with migrant workers. Its name was TWC2, and there, being a Bengali speaker, I could interact with a lot of Bengali or Bangladeshi migrant workers, and I got to know that many of them were practicing cultural activities like writing or maintaining a diary, or even they had some background in acting. So that led to an idea of organizing a poetry competition which would bring together migrant workers with a Singaporean audience, because what was lacking was this avenue for interaction and understanding between these two groups. And we thought that using culture as a medium for expression would perhaps create more awareness about issues faced by migrant workers. So I got in together with a few writer friends, and we had the first iteration of the migrant worker poetry competition in 2014 in Singapore. And starting from with only 28 participants, it has grown now to have over 170 odd participants and has got wide coverage all around the world. So as we were doing migrant worker poetry competitions and for refugees poetry competitions in Singapore and also in Malaysia, we also got in touch with similar initiatives which were happening in places like Taiwan, in Kenya, in Qatar, in Kuwait. And we thought that it would be good to bring together all of these initiatives to create a global awareness about migrant issues, because many of the similarities that they face can be addressed in a better way if there is some global awareness about that. So that's how we organized the first in 2018, we organized the first Global Migrant Festival. It was a physical event, and we wanted to do this every 2 years. So in 2020, because of COVID, we did it an all virtual event, but we had 30 sessions which represented migrant workers and refugees from all around the world, from the United States all the way to Africa and Europe, Russia, and all these parts. So like in any social movement, the role played by culture is a bit more subtle, but can also be very profound and deep and powerful. And that's what we are also trying to do here by using culture as a medium for direct expression of migrant workers themselves. Because while we may have a lot of NGOs as well as academicians talking about their issues, there's a certain power and agency when the migrant worker talks about his or her situation himself, and that will perhaps help to create more awareness among the wider community that we have in Singapore, and eventually lead to better situation, better working conditions, and perhaps even a path to citizenship for migrant workers in Singapore.